Yo, what's up? It's your boy D'Anthony Turner, man, and I'm rocking with Candy Kisses TV and Michelle C. Retcher. You can follow me on Instagram at the D'Anthony Turner, Facebook, same handles, TikTok, Rare Momentum. You can catch me each and every Tuesday hosting at Backstage, all right? Or you can catch my web series on Amazon Prime called Decisions. Tap in with your boy. We doing this thing. You feel me?
It's the Jill of all trades, Michelle C, aka DJ Make a Move. She cute. Your host of Kandid Kisses TV, everywhere you need to be. And if you don't know by now, it's not your typical interview, y'all.
Kandid Kisses blown away. Kandid Kisses TV for tomorrow today. Man, throw that auto-tune on that bitch. Have me sound like Teddy Payne.
Hi there, this is Kim Cole, and you are rocking with Kandid Kisses TV.
It's your boy Talent, baby. Michelle and Kandid Kisses TV with my girl Michelle C. Don't take it personal.
Yo, what's up? It's bruh man from the fifth floor. In the ATL, chilling with Kandid Kisses TV.
What's up, y'all? You're watching Kandid Kisses TV. What my whole girl, Michelle. Hello there. Have you asked yourself what you listen? I have. Kandid Kisses TV. I have.
What up, Kiss fam? It is your girl, Michelle C, aka DJ Make a Move, the Jill of all trades. And I'm back with another one like I never left. Now, you know what I got to do each and every time. Got to threaten you a little bit. Subscribe now. I'm going to tell you, mama, act like she done raised you right. And you know how serious I am about my subscriptions. I'm going to let my fellow Aquarius sister let you know how real it is.
I don't wanna fuck nobody up.
No, 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 no.
I don't wanna fuck nobody up.
I don't wanna fuck nobody else, but I will.
If I have to.
On God. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button. It's free 99. So now that we got all the church announcements over, we're going to go ahead and get into this thing. Let's start it, and we are getting it. First of all, I am bringing another dope talent to the Kandid Kiss fam. This man has been rocking stages all over the world. He's opened up for some dope names that you all know and love. Ricky Smiley, David Tamla, man, the boy out here. You hear me? He wrote plays. Listen, let me just shut my ass up and get on into it. Give it up for D. Anthony Turner. Pew, 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 pew.
What's up? What's up? What's happening? What's up, Michelle?
What's going on, sir?
Not much, man. I appreciate you having me on here.
So we finna get in your business just a little bit, just a little rough down. Not too much.
Come on with it. I'm prepared.
Now, the first thing I always ask, writers, comedians, when did you know, or what was it that made you say, I want to get into this entertainment industry?
I wanted to get into the entertainment industry young. I mean, I always been an inquisitive kid, so I was real full of shit, animated. Can I say full of shit? I don't know, what's the?
I'm the cussing queen on here. You can get
Okay, all right. So, I kind of knew early, man. I fell in love with the love of movies at a young age, and I always wanted to act, but I always had a sense of humor, and I fell in love with comedy. Comedic acting was always my thing, and then I remember watching Def Jam tapes of my parents when they was on VHS. I used to sneak and watch the VHS Def Jam tapes growing up. Then I remember seeing Kings of Comedy when I was like 12 or 11. So I think that's when I started saying, okay, I want to do stand-up. But I've always had a love for acting and film.
So what was your first stage?
Church play.
Okay.
I did a church play when I was like 11. So my first stage ever was church.
Okay. Now, was you able to have some comedy in it, or you had to be serious?
No, I had comedy, and they picked me to play the devil.
Oh, Lord.
And so yeah, I had fun when I played the devil for like 2, maybe 3 years in a row with the Christmas play. because I always was outspoken and goofy, so they always knew I could pull it off. So when I went to the church and they cast me for it, I rocked out and everybody laughed.
Now I know that's for this, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna do this little play. All right, okay, we need a heathen. Okay, nigga, D'Anthony, yeah." I'm like, damn, I thought the church is supposed to love one another. But no, that's dope. What when you finally did decide, okay, I want to take this serious and I want to start doing my stand-up, do you remember your first time on stage as a stand-up comedian?
Yeah, I was 19, and it was a spot in Roswell, Georgia called Lunzel's. It was like 2011. I had just dropped out of school. I had just got kicked out of college, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna start stand-up. And so my dad was like, all right, if you're gonna start it, he set me up with this company, and my cousin was working. They was doing like a variety show, and so they put me down as a comedian. So they're like, if you want to do it, show us that you really want to do it. So I wrote a whole set I wrote like a 10-minute set prepared for that, and I had all my family there, my girl at the time, my brother, my aunties, cousins, parents. So they all showed up, man, and I rocked that motherfucker. I rocked it so good my first time that they asked me to go back and do a second 10-minute set, and I ain't had shit prepared. So I just freestyled and talked about my family the whole time, the second time.
So wait a minute, so you weren't nervous to perform in front of your family?
Yeah, hell yeah, I was nervous. I was more comfortable because it's them. I clown for my family all the time. You know what I'm saying? So they all know how I am. So it was like, all right, I'm nervous, and I'm still nervous. No matter when or where I get on stage, I'm gonna be nervous. But
yeah,
it was a little easier being in front of the people I always kick shit with.
That's the only thing. I ain't gonna lie. When I started doing comedy, my mom wanted to go. They want to support it. It was like, yeah, where's the show? And I was like, I ain't telling you. Why? Because it's like, for me, it was like, I don't care if strangers judge me, but you care when your family judges you, because you ain't gonna never stop hearing the judgment.
Right. No, facts.
The niggas, again. But if I go home and you like, man, Shay was up there and that shit wasn't funny, like, you know what I'm saying? I gotta hear that for the rest of my
What
day.
singer do? Hey, what singer do? Hey, yo,
what singer do?
What singer do? Hey, cuz. What singer do, cuz? Singer do is a music game that all can play. All you have to do is sing the melody of the song on the card using only the word do.
Do. Same genre. Do.
What?
Do. 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 Do.
Kick off my shoes and relax my feet. Get ticket.
Do.
Do.
Do. Do. Do. Do. Do.
We'll make you.
Do. 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 Do, do, do. You got your family and they need you there. But I try to resist being last on your list, but no other girl's gonna do. Order your copy today at singadoo.com.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's fucked up when your folks say, yeah, tell me you want to be funny. Motherfucker, you ain't funny. Yeah, that shit crazy.
My family is supportive, but I'm gonna be real with you. It's not my family, it's my mom. My mom is going to be like, nigga, I don't know if you should go, because what come out. She's like, so. But no,
that's crazy. My parents are actually big fans though. They try to make as many events. I've been doing it 12 years. My mom, they'll come to the clubs, and if they can and I'm out and I'm doing a show, they come out. They like comedy though. Like, my parents love comedy. So like I said, I used to sneak and watch their tapes growing up. So they'll fuck around.
Is there anything that you would be nervous to say in front of your parents?
Nah, they know me. If they come into my show, they know there's no holds barred. I'm getting into it. So I mean, they respect the craft and they understand. I will say stuff on stage that I won't say when I'm, just regularly around my parents, but They know if you're coming, you coming, you know what I'm saying? You know what you're coming to. So they're prepared for it.
That's the thing. I had the first show my mom's been in 2 shows, but the first one I ever let her go to, where it was just kind of, I'm hosting, I'm doing the majority of stuff, was a couple of weeks ago. And I ain't gonna lie, I was nervous to say certain shit around her just because I know how she is. Because I remember the first thing she kept saying was like, why don't you want me to go to the show? She's like, you must be up there talking about fucking. And I was just like, no, that's not really my thing. It's just, I know when I do get into my thing, you don't know that Michelle. You know your baby, your daughter, Michelle. You don't know the Michelle that getting your ass. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I've been full of shit my whole life, so they know. They already know.
Oh, we figured out. We rocked it out. We had a good time. So, what was out of the years that you've been doing? You've been doing it for a good minute. What was the most memorable time you've ever had on stage?
Most memorable time I ever had on stage. Oh, it's been so many. I think one of the most okay, I'll say this, and it's not because it's a good time, but it made me learn and know I had to study more of my craft. It was my second time on stage, and it's a funny story. The owner of the club that I went and did the first show at, he wanted to hire me to do his weekends, like host, like had like jazz nights and shit. So he wanted me to host it for him because I did so good for the variety show, the talent show.
Mm-hmm.
So I went back like 2 weeks later, and he was finna offer me a job, $100 a night, Thursday through Sunday. So I went on the Thursday, and I'm 19, so it's grown people in the crowd, like 40 and up. So they all in they ready to hear jazz. It ain't my family no more. So at this point, you know, I got to go up there and entertain grown motherfuckers, and I'm 19 years old. So I went up there, I did about 5 minutes, and they was not feeling it. I remember somebody in the audience was like, yeah, man, this ain't for you. So I got off stage. The owner gave me $20 and said, cool, you know, appreciate it. I ain't never see that nigga again. But that was a memory for me because it taught me that you have to know your audience, you have to know your crowd, and you have to know who you're dealing with. And so from that point on, any stage I went on, and every year I tried to adapt and learn that, okay, I could be the same person, but I have to know that I have to cater to the crowd.
Yeah.
So I learned that from that, and it helped me out throughout my whole career.
So then how would you say you navigate that? Because it's like, okay, you learned that from saying, okay, didn't really read the crowd. But if you was to give somebody advice, like how do you, not necessarily how do you read the crowd, but I guess how do you finesse or figure out, all right, okay, this is an old hit, this is, you know, okay, let me figure out what I'm doing. Like what makes you say, all right, this is how I'm going to have to come to them?
You sit and watch, man, and you feel the one thing I tell comics, you know, a lot of comics say, well, you know, I don't like to see other comics, or I don't like to sit in the room till it's my time to go. I say you got to read the room. You got to sit in there. You got to see who drinking what, who's with who. You know what I'm saying? You got to see who's coming in by themselves. How many, you know, you just got to know what kind of people you're dealing with so you'll know what material to use and if you should use material. Some rooms, they only want you to do material, but you got to know that off gate. I'm from Montgomery, Alabama, and it's not a comedy city. So off gate, those people ain't coming to laugh. They coming to say, nigga, make me laugh. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So coming from a place like that, I learned early on that you have to engage with the crowd and you got to really get them on your side. So I would say, man, you just got to learn people. It's school, it's class. You got to know people in this profession we in because you want to entertain them. You can't entertain people you don't know.
True. Like I would say out of all the rooms that I've done, because a lot of comics will say, well, you know, stay away from the bar scenes or whatever. That's not really no comedy. You need to go to a comedy club or whatever. And I understand what they mean, because if you go to a comedy stage, it's set up for comedy.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't win if just because you ain't doing what you're supposed to do. But bars are a little bit harder because, like you said, you have to read the room. You got to whatever. And I've done bars that's been fine, but there was one particular bar I went to, and I was just like, why am I? And I felt bad because it's like, I know the type of crowd it was. It's like, this is one of them where you just need to talk shit to them. But I feel like if I'm getting paid for this, I feel like I need to do material because I'm getting paid for it. I don't feel like it would have been fair to freestyle some shit if I'm getting paid. But then looking back, I was like, man, I should just freestyle this shit.
Yeah. I mean, the job is to make them laugh regardless of how you do it. And I feel like the freestyle teaches you and you get jokes from it. Like I host a lot and I get a lot of jokes from just freestyling and going off the limb and talking about shit that's topics or whatever's going on. Those rooms are built for your confidence. That's what I've learned. And I read Kevin Hart's book, his first book he ever had out. He talked about being in his room where they used to throw shit on stage at you. And, you know, he was like, man, you know, I was nervous. He was like, but killing that room to where he was probably the first person in that room to get a standing ovation. And he just had to fuck with the people and learn. You have to know how to be well-rounded as a comic. You know what I'm saying? Because before you can get to them arenas and shit, you got to know how to deal with them people because them the type of people that you want to come to buy tickets. You want the people that'll go to the bars and the people that go to the comedy clubs to buy tickets when you come around. That's how you sell out arenas. So you just got to learn to adapt, man. And you got to learn not to be scared of any room, even if it's people who go into the bars only. I tell them all the time, you got to go to the comedy clubs. You got to go to the white rooms. You have to know how to work everybody.
Yeah. That's the thing. I'm so used to not fucking with people. Like, I'll fuck with you if you fuck with me, but I'm not one of them people that's going to intentionally go out of my way to fuck with you. That's why I'm just like, I go up here and do my material. It's, even though it's fun, it's like a job to me. Do your job, go home.
Right.
Oh, nigga, you got to do crowd work. What I'm like, I don't mind doing crowd work, but I just know me. If I do too much crowd work, I'm gonna get off the beaten path. I'm gonna start talking about the shit. Like, we're gonna have a conversation over here versus focus on what the fuck I'm trying to do. So I'm at that stage of, you know, I don't mind fuck with the crowd, but I don't want to fuck with y'all too much.
Yeah, work your material. I feel it. I mean, you go there to work material most of the time. So if you go in somewhere and you gotta say, okay, I'm working this is what I'm working, go through it. But you gotta know what rooms to go work that shit at. Some rooms you ain't gonna work your material in because they ain't gonna give a fuck. So
exactly.
You gotta know where to go to work your material and where to go just to fuck around.
Cause I ain't gonna lie. One of my friends, I ain't putting him out there like that because it'll be bad. But I've seen him do a room that was not necessarily his demographic as far as the type of comedy he does. And in the middle of his set, he was like, "Man, fuck y'all," and walked off. I was like, how much these niggas you don't know defeat you? But okay.
Right. Yeah, you can't let them fuck your self-esteem up. They'll do it.
Oh, they fucked him all the way up. I was like, God damn, nigga, you mad, ain't you? Moving on.
They said, fuck yeah.
As a comedian, you do have to be a dope writer. When did you know you were a dope writer?
English was my favorite subject in school. And college, I've majored in broadcast. I minored in theater, and I took a lot of writing classes. So I've always had a gift and love to write. I did poetry in school. So I used to write I used to write a lot of poetry and R&B music. I used to write for a lot of singers when I was in school. A lot of how people want to sing and rap and do this shit. I used to write a lot then. So when I started doing comedy, I started getting cast in a lot of plays. And then I started just developing another love. I started writing full scenes out. And like I said, I always wanted to get into acting, and I always wrote down jokes, but I never wanted to be the person that's only do one thing, I guess. So I said, okay, let me try this. And I always wanted to try it. So when I wrote my first web series, I think people was like, nigga, that's dope. And I went on from that to write a play. And then I realized, okay, nigga, you really got a gift with this writing. It's not just something you like. It's a gift. And if God gives you a gift, you got to use it.
Let me find out we cousins. When I started, for real, before I even got into like the comedy field, I started with poetry. I started with music. I wrote for artists before. Like, that's literally writing. I didn't realize what I was doing was a thing. I just thought it was just something that I like to do.
Right. You never know.
You can do some shit with this.
Yeah.
Like, one of my business partners, I actually met him because he's a producer, and I used to write songs for his artists. And shit just happens. So. And
people don't even know music started a lot. Like, I'm a big music fanatic. I love music. I worked in the radio for 3 years. I used to write a lot of music, and then the series I got on Prime is about music. So even though I love comedy and acting, I'm a music head.
That's me. Listen, next time you got something music oriented, hey,
I got you.
Guess what? Kandid Kisses TV has merch. That's right. You can find it at artistperiod.com. We have everything you need. We have hoodies. We have coffee mugs. We even have throw pillows and beach towels for the summer. Get it right. Keep it tight. Listen, everything you need to get your drip right, artistperiod.com has it for you. That's artistperiod.com. Get your drip right with artistperiod.com and Kandid Kisses TV. Make sure you get it today. Kandid Kisses TV is brought to you by Kissable Lips Cosmetics. You can be kissed without kissable lips. Shop KissableLipsCosmetics.com today for all your beauty needs.
No, for real. Like my dad was a musician. My mom's like everybody in my family is industry some kind of way, whether it's being a videographer. But my dad was in a group called the Endeavors back in the day or whatever. But yeah, like the music has always been our thing. So it's just crazy how I'm using it in different ways, or whatever. But yeah, music is my thing. Moving on. What is the ultimate goal in the entertainment industry? So what do you want to do with your platform?
Honestly, I want to, at this point I'm in now, I really just want to inspire. I think it's changed over the years because, like I said, I started at 19. I'll be 32 next week. So when I first started, I always wanted to, and I still kind of do, you want to be the best at everything. I wanted to be the best actor. I want to be the best comedian. I want to go out there and make sure that my name is in households. You know what I'm saying? I always wanted to do that. But at this point in my life and the career I had, I'm blessed with where I've been and what I've been able to do. And I know people say it all the time, but I really mean if God don't bless me in another with another role or whatever, I'm happy with where my careers went. And I think as long as I can inspire somebody to be that next, if I could say the right thing, or if the next Bernie Mac or Kevin Hart could say, man, I remember D'Anthony Turner, that's really where I'm at with it at this point, man. I just want to be able to inspire somebody.
Because and what's dope about it too, because I did remember you mentioned broadcasting. I went to school for broadcasting, work for VO3, 13, okay, all that. So it's like it's just funny how, like I said, music will put you in so many different things.
Right.
So that being said, because I know you said you worked with Ricky Smiley before. Did you meet him in the radio field, or did you just meet him in comedy, or?
Nah, Ricky is probably the longest person I've ever worked with. I met him in 2013 dealing with comedy. He came to Montgomery, and a promoter was looking for somebody to open up for him. And I was living in Montgomery at the time, and somebody told him about me, and I had been doing comedy 2 years. Actually, just had moved back to Montgomery a year before because I started in Atlanta. Okay. So they hit me up, and I had to audition for it. And he told me to do 10 minutes clean. I never done clean set. So I had to do a 10-minute clean in front of the show. And I had to go and really write. I had 2 days to do it because they were like 2 days out. You open up for Ricky, come up with some clean shit. Bye. But I did it, man. I ripped it. And from that moment, there was another promoter there who ended up booking me to host for 6 months with David and Tamela Mann, based off of doing clean in. And then after I got off that tour, the other promoter came back and I started doing more dates with Ricky. So that's how that came. And when I got on the radio, me and him got closer than we was when I did comedy with him, because I got on the radio in 2017, and his morning show was on the station that I worked with. So he used to come in town and we used to do a lot together then. So that's how we got close. We weren't really close when I was doing comedy for him, but radio really got us closer.
That's pretty dope. Now, one thing, a lot of comedians are upcoming new comedians. They be like, well, why I got to do clean or whatever? But let's be real. That clean be paying them bills.
Yeah. You don't want to turn down no money. If you're a comic and somebody say, can you do clean? You don't want to say, no, I don't fuck with that because you done missed the check. And
let me ask you, did you find it more difficult to do clean, or you just like, all right, let me just ride around it?
At the time, I was trying to figure a way to still be me and do clean. And at first I overthought it, but then I was like, man, these church people want to laugh at the same shit everybody else laugh at. You just got to find a way to bring it to them that is not disrespectful. Right. So when I realized that, I used to do some of my same material just in a different way and use different verbiage, and it'll go over just the same. So after a while, it became easy, second nature. I still do clean stuff. I don't do as much as I did when I was doing the David and Tamela Mann tour. Because when I started back touring Ricky Smiley, I ain't have to be clean no more. Even the first show I did with him, he made me be clean, but everybody else was on that motherfucker going crazy. I'm like, ain't this a bitch?
Oh, like, that ain't fair, right?
But it was to test me. I'm 21 at the time, so he wanted to see, could you do it? And so I respect that. And like I said, I got the David and Tamela Mann gig off of that. So
I don't regret it. When I first did my clean set, because my thing is this. I think, like you said, sometimes when people will tell you to do clean, you overthink it. And when I got booked for a clean show, I was like, oh shit, what am I gonna do? And I'm thought about it, like, well, wait a minute, I cuss a lot, but it's not my punchline. It's just my seasoning. So I was like, okay, I just gotta make a little bland. All right, bet.
Right.
It worked out. So I'm like,
it still works out.
Yep.
As long as the punchline's still there, you ain't got to worry about it. A lot of people cuss anyway. It just be some pointless shit. So if your cussing is pointless, it's easier to take it out. Now, if your cussing is your punchline, like if you got a Bernie Mac joke for motherfucker, you probably just wouldn't do that one for the church.
Exactly.
But
motherfucker, but I mean, they get the point, whatever. Because that's there's certain stuff like I'm not. Most of my material is not. I don't really do dirty and raunchy stuff anyway. If I do say something that's a little risque, I touch on it and I'm out of there. Like I'm not gonna make a whole scene about it. It's just like this is what I wanted to say. I'm done with that. Moving on.
Right. Yeah, I done got risque a lot lately. But I talk about a lot of stuff. I try to put my mind into stuff and my mindset on topics in today's world. And I've learned in comedy to stay true, because in the climate we're in, with a lot of people stealing and trying to take material and revamping material, I try to keep all my material so close to my heart and my home and true life that it's hard for anybody to say, "Oh man, I got receipts on everything I tell," because it's damn near the truth.
How do you with that being said, how do you go about protecting your stuff? Like, for example, like I've heard a lot of comics say they'll record all their sets and they'll like upload it to YouTube, but not put it out there, but upload it just for like a timestamp, just prove that nigga I said this first.
I got a lot of footage out there of different stuff. Not because I do it on purpose, just because people record or I record and I just put stuff out. But I never really worried about it. I never really thought too deep into it about, somebody might steal this or whatever. I just, like I said, I just do my material. I do what I do. And people who know me, people who see my material, they know my material. And I'm so good at flowing and freestyling also that it's hard to take my shit, because you never know, what I'm saying, what I'm going to do or when I'm going to do it. And I've had instances where people steal it. Or I ain't gonna say steal it. I've had instances where people take stuff I've done, tried to revamp it, and I got calls, man, this motherfucker that but hey, I'm a writer. I charge it to the game. You know what I'm saying? I keep it pushing. I ain't finna fight about no joke. It's more jokes out there.
You ain't lying. And like what you can't do, you can't be me. So
right. Yeah.
Me, nigga. So
yeah, you can say it all you want. It ain't gonna hit the same.
That part. That part. So moving on. Oh, let me get into your culture. Who is your favorite rapper and singer, and why?
Favorite rapper, dead or alive, or period?
It don't matter, period.
Lil Wayne is my favorite rapper. Okay. I grew up on Wayne. Wayne is one of the most lyrical, and he's from the South. A lot of people like to give it to Jay-Z, which of course Jay-Z has credit of being very lyrical, even Biggie. But Wayne started at a very young age and dominated for decades. He had hits in the 90s, 2000s, 2010s, 2020s. Like, this man has been dominating the scene, and he got me from youth to grown. So Wayne is definitely one of the most lyrical and versatile artists to me as far as rap. Singers.
Tougher than Nigerian hair, I was good.
Except for the Nigerian hair.
That's what made me like, okay, I'm a believer. That nigga, like, of all things you could have said, tougher than Nigerian hair. Okay,
right. Oh yeah, motherfuckers. Come on, this man's catalog and his wordplay is top by nothing. It's top tier. You might get mad at me when I say my favorite singer. I don't care. R. Kelly is still the R&B king to me. Yeah. I don't condone shit Robert do, but R. Kelly, that music, you can't take nothing from him, man. His penmanship, his voice is just he's on another level, and you can't take that from him.
Let me tell you something. When people say, well, I know y'all cancel R. Kelly. Look, I ain't got no kids. They ain't bothering me. So that whole CP2, whatever the album is, the one with I Don't Mean It on there, that was my shit.
Man.
Look, I know he need help. But what he don't need help in is the music direction, because that nigga is a genius when it comes to that music. You hear me?
Man is dope, man. And I feel like he still deserves his flowers. Because I'm gonna tell you the truth. The one reason I'm not so hell-bent on it is because I remember being in high school, 15.
You just everything. When you see him in his flowers, like he get all his flowers at the nursery.
Yeah.
But okay, go ahead.
Nah, I remember being young, 15, 14, trying to holler at these girls and these niggas 25, 26, picking them up and donks and shit. I'm like, ain't this a bitch? Like, I mean, that was the culture. And even in the industry, Jay-Z with Foxy Brown, you know what I'm saying? Elvis, like there's a lot of artists that is just a culture thing. I mean, I'm not saying it's right, but it's not rape. It's a culture thing, and a lot of these parents knew about it. So I feel like once you start indicting one, you should start throwing indictments all over the fucking board.
This is true. Wait a minute. So you said Foxy Brown and Jay-Z. So Foxy was young?
Yeah, well, yeah, you never heard about that?
No.
I think Foxy Brown was like 15 with her and Jay-Z. Just look it up. Like she came out and said, you know, her and Jay-Z had dealings when she was still young. He was in his 20s, she was still in her teens.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's like it's a lot of shit, man. It's a crazy industry.
Keeping it industry. A lot of men always tell me who their favorite, you know, comic is, and it's always a male comic. Who is your favorite female comedian?
Female comedian, Samore.
Okay.
I love Samore's penmanship. Samore's timing and her thought process to come up with a joke is off the charts, man. I like Monique. I love Wanda Sykes, but nah, Samore is unmatched. If you ever listen to her specials, watch them and pay attention. That girl comes up with some shit.
Yeah.
So I really like her. I love her style.
You know who I feel like is slept on as far as female comedians?
Who?
Dominique.
Okay, I can see why you say that.
That she tickles me. You hear me?
Nah, she definitely funny. I seen Dominique. When was it? I got a chance to see her live, and I think I want to say Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
It was a while ago, but nah, she rocks the fucking crowd though. She does her thing. It's just I don't know. Just Samore's just I don't know. I'm big on unexpected comedy. Like I'm not expecting you for you to take your twist with certain shit in your mindset. So Samore does.
Let's not get twisted. Samore is definitely a beast, of course. I mean,
yeah.
Out of the female comedians, I like that is most people's top, 10, 20, whatever. So yeah, I'm not discrediting her. I'm just saying for me, I feel like people underrate
For sure, I feel it.
So we are moving on. What is one challenge you had to face in the industry, and how did you overcome it?
Worrying about people booking you for projects, as far as acting. I had an agent for 5 years, and when COVID hit, my agent dropped me. And no shade to them. Shout out to People's Store. I've got great work through them, but it was like for a while trying to get another agent, which I do now. But before I did, trying to book another agent and worrying about that far as my acting career, I just had to realize that doesn't define you. The agent doesn't. And that's when I went on and shot my own stuff, and I produced a lot of my own projects. And even though I got an agent now, every project I've done since 2020, I've produced myself, I've written myself, I funded, I put on, and it's probably the best thing ever happened to me, and I made more money doing it that way. I've learned you can't wait on people to book you. You got to book yourself, and that's something I learned with comedy. But with acting, I had to learn it. Like I said, I was in Montgomery, so where I'm from, there's not a comedy club, so it's not a comedy-based place. So we want to do a show, we threw shows, unless, you got your big names come every now and then, your Mike Epps, your Samores, your Earthquakes, they come through every now and then. But if you want comedy on a regular, we threw a lot of our own shows, so I'm producing a lot of my stuff, and I'm paying other comics from Atlanta or wherever, Chicago, to come to Montgomery while I host a feature. So I had to have that same mindset with the acting. You can't wait on people to book you. You got to book yourself sometime, because if you wait on people to put you on, you will never make money.
And let's be real, don't it feel better once you accomplish it yourself?
Facts.
That's the one thing people were telling me, like, as I'm doing the industry stuff. I've been an entrepreneur for 18 years, so it's like it's hard for me to beg for stage time when I could just create my own stage. So I'm like, you ain't never see me begging for. I'll ask you, if you say no, cool, on to the next shit. It's not that deep to me. Like, I see so many comedians get turned away. Well, they ain't booking me, but you're just as capable as they are. Do your own shit. Why are you worried about them?
Hey man, you got to like I said, man. A lot of comics I knew, I met growing up was people I booked. I used to book a lot of comics from Atlanta, people I knew already. Then I got turned on to a lot of people that I used to bring to Montgomery when I throw shows, and that's how I developed my craft. And then from doing that, like I said, I started getting picked to be on big shows that came through the city, and then my career just did what it did. I got on the radio because of it. You can't go ahead. No, I was just saying you can't allow people to define your craft and your worth. You got to go out there and do it and show them what you got without them, and that's what's gonna make people want to say, "Okay, let me fuck with this cat."
Okay, so with that being said, what inspired you? Because play is not no hard feat.
Oh no.
What made you sit down and say, "I'm gonna do this goddamn play"?
The first time I ever did it was in 2014, and it was because I was doing shows from like 2012 to 2014. I was writing hella comedy shows. We was doing a lot. Boom, boom, boom. I was acting in plays, but I wanted to do my own. Like I said, every year I always said when I first started this, I always say every year I wanted to one up myself. So I never wanted to be doing the same thing each year. So 2014 came. Well, actually, in the 2013 is when I wrote it. Mm-hmm. Then 2014 came. I don't know if you're familiar with Doe B. He used to be signed with Grand Hustle. He died. He's from Montgomery, Alabama. He was T.I.'s first artist.
Was he a big dude?
Yeah, big dude, had a patch over his eye. Yeah. He was Tip's first artist, and he was from my hometown. Me and him were tight. And he got killed a couple of days before New Year's, 2013. So when I wrote my play, Am I My Brother's Keeper, it had a lot to do with that and just black men and circumstances. And I just was on a writing fringe, and I finished it. And in 2014, I decided to put it on, and I took what I knew from being in plays, and when I did it, man, it was received. And from that moment, I just started doing more of them and touring with it, and I learned as I go. And it's not easy at all, but if you love what you're doing, you know, the gratification comes from the audience feeling something from it.
Right.
So
yeah, writing, like you like I got about 2 movies that I want to do, but the script writing, I'm just like, nigga, I got the beginning, the middle, the end, the moral of the story, I got all that, but who got time to sit and write each line for each person? That shit, like, nigga, this the concept, go for it. You know?
Hey, they got AI now. You can use that AI for that shit now.
Let me tell you something. That AI so gangster. So I don't know, like I know you know Rodney or whatever, and he was talking about how he, so I did exactly what he did on his show. I was like, let me look up, let me put my movie scenario in it and just see what it comes up with. These niggas gave me the characters' quirks. It told me what they was doing. It named the name of the movie. I got a name for the movie, but they named the movie just in case I didn't have a name. Like, this AI shit is crazy. Now, I don't know if it's gonna write your whole script, but it sure gave me a one sheet.
Right. I mean, hey, it's there for a reason, man. Use it. I think that's why people in the strike is so crazy right now too, because you know people out there in California, man, they trying to get their pay and they trying to push people out with a lot of this AI stuff. So it's a lot going on in that whole industry right now, man. So I just prayers to the SAG people, anybody who's SAG right now. I've been SAG eligible for years. I never went SAG because I still like doing independent projects. But I got a lot of people who are industry. I got a lot of people and friends who are SAG. So just prayers to all them and going through all that crazy shit right now, man.
Well, that's the one question I always had. I wondered about SAG because, like, I know I'm makeup artistry and you have to get into that too. But I never went to the full because there's so much stuff that you got to have this many hours.
Right.
Because like I got the skill set. Like I said, I've been 18 years in the game. Like, figure it out. But what is the downfall by being SAG? Is it just that you can't take independent and that's it?
You can't take any independent work. This is what I'll say about being SAG. If you're gonna go SAG, do it when you're in demand. Because first off, there's a certain pay you got to have, which is good. Then you have certain rules. You got to work a certain amount of hours, which is like it's good for the actors who are like Blair Underwood or Denzel. You know what I'm saying? People are union because they're going to be in demand. People like me, I still want to do the independent stuff. I'm not in demand yet, so I don't want to go SAG and miss out on opportunities that could be something. You get what I'm saying?
So like SAG is almost like having a work permit. Like, when you're 14, you can only work a certain amount of hours.
Yeah. But they protect their people. They protect them. Like SAG isn't a bad thing, but I feel like it should only happen when you're working, you're in your bag, you got a demand, and you say, okay, let me go with SAG now. And the union can protect me, and I'm getting to work. But I've been eligible for years, and I just never went.
Okay. Hey, you got to do what works for you.
Yeah, I enjoy independent work, man. I ain't a problem with it.
So before we get to our fun segments, I always like to ask, who is one entrepreneur that you admire and why?
Entrepreneur? My dad.
Okay.
My dad is probably, not even probably, he's one of the most hardworking man I've ever seen do what he do, coming from nothing. My dad come from a house of 14 brothers and sisters, 4-bedroom house, in Montgomery on the west side. And he was the baby. So I watched him deal with life, man, and build his own businesses, retire from the fire department, have his own landscaping business, take care of 4 kids, a wife, move to great neighborhoods, make sure that we all had what we needed. Like, I watched this man do amazing things, and still to this day do for his grandkids. Like, it's to me, he's a true testament of a black man not taking no for an answer and going out and getting it on his own. So, and I feel like that's why it's so much in me and my brothers, because of what we seen with my father. So I definitely salute him.
Well, shouts out to them real daddies, because there's a lot of daddies out there. There's a lot of niggas that's daddies because they got babies, but they ain't doing what they got to do.
Nah,
so shouts out to the real daddies.
Facts, because your kids are watching. That's one thing I tell everybody. It ain't about what you teach them; it's about what they watching you do. So, and that goes for men and women, fathers and mothers. The kids are gonna listen to what you're saying, but they also gonna watch what you're doing. So, always be mindful of that.
Well, now we get into the good stuff. Now, not that the other stuff wasn't good, but we're finna get into the good stuff. We're going to our first segment, which is Kiss or Diss.
Kiss or Diss.
Crushes. I'm gonna name different celebrity crushes. You're gonna decide who you kissing, who you dissing.
All right, let's do it.
We got Regina Hall or Halle Berry. Who you kissing? Who you
dissing? See why you had to pick too bad, man. I don't want to diss neither one though. I don't want to diss. I got to. All right. I would probably kiss Regina Hall, diss Halle.
Okay.
Only because I fucking love Regina. I love her attitude.
And she's funny too.
As hell. I love that. I love it.
All right. Taraji P. Henson or Lisa Ray? Who you kissing? Who you dissing?
I'm kissing Taraji. I'm dissing Lisa Ray. Taraji's my crush. I don't give a damn. Taraji's been my celebrity crush since Baby Boy. I just love Taraji. Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be difficult. All right, last one. Shirley from What's Happening or Florida Evans of Good Times? Who you kissing?
Oh man. I kiss Shirley from What's Happening. Hey, I diss Florida Evans because she was just she ain't really all that as a mama.
I mean, neither one of them had no neck, so I mean.
yeah, but still, I can deal with Florida Evans.
All right, we'll move on to
you like white people too much.
That's the dumbest questions. She like Maud, so yeah. All right, first one. What's the worst job you ever had?
Work Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh wow!
I fucking hated it. I was 16 in high school. And I hate it because they used to always put me in the fucking Chucky suit. And like, man, I'm in the kids' parties, they having a dance and shit. Kids bad as hell. I said, God damn.
Was you doing the regular Chucky dances or you was ticking and shit? Like,
man, no, I was doing all kind of shit. When I was 16, we was doing like lean with it, rock with it and shit like that. So we was doing all kind of dances. But nah, man. That was probably the worst job I ever had. And I've had a lot of jobs, but Chuck E. Cheese probably was one I'm like, nah. I did it for like 3 months and I left.
I ain't never seen Mr. Chucky do the stanky leg. You was out here doing the stanky leg.
Like a motherfucker. Yeah. I was doing the stanky leg like here.
All right. If you could east side stomp on anyone in your past that you know personally with no consequences, who would it be?
East side stomp on anyone in my past. with no consequences.
Yep.
Probably my old boss.
Okay.
My old boss. I would east side stomp all up that motherfucker forehead. Wouldn't give a damn.
What job was that?
It was one of my bosses at the Trap Music Museum. I ain't gonna name which one, but
okay, we're gonna move on. Damn. You say I ain't gonna incriminate myself. I'm getting the fuck out of here.
I don't know what the fuck happened.
that was a nigga in the Trap Museum. Like, nigga, try me again if you want to. See what happens. All right, we are moving on. What's the craziest thing you ever done to get a female's attention?
Craziest thing I've ever done to get a female's attention. Wow. I done some wild shit. Honestly, for real, a lot of females come to me. I ain't never really had to do a lot of crazy shit in life. A lot of females will come to me. I'm trying to think of the craziest thing I had to do. It's probably not been nothing that crazy. I've seen females do crazy shit.
You've been pimping since you've been pimping. You ain't had to do nothing.
Nah, man. I don't think I had to do nothing crazy. I'll say one thing. My wife, this before we were married, we was separated. We had broke up and we weren't talking for a while. And I remember she had a boyfriend and I called her one day and she was telling me, she got a dude. I said, look, I know you got a guy and I ain't trying to break that up right now, but I just want him to know that you still gonna be my wife one day. And I hung up the phone.
Oh, okay.
And and then she ended up being my wife one day.
Hey, manifest.
Oh yeah.
My God is set up.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about that nigga.
All right. Ooh, what's one embarrassing moment from your childhood that you're willing to share?
Embarrassing moment from my childhood. I remember my pops, man. I was in junior high school. I forgot I got suspended from school for maybe fighting or whatever. And I was in my neighborhood and my pops pulled up, made me go outside, had a big ass fucking it was I would say a switch just for the sake of the police. But he whooped my ass outside, man, in front of every fucking body. So I was like, nigga. Yeah, I ain't like him back then.
That's the worst thing. Like, it's one thing to get whooped, but like, whoop me in private, nigga. Don't be publicly whooping my ass.
Yeah, motherfucker. This shouldn't even be legal.
All right. Oh, okay. We got two more and we move on to the next one. If you could create a lame superhero, what would be their name be and what would be their lame superpower?
A lame superhero?
Mm-hmm.
A lame superhero. It would be somebody that could. What would a lame nigga do? Probably somebody who could read women's minds.
Okay.
I call them the bitch reader. Yeah. Because you got to be some lame nigga to want to know what women thinking all day. Because I don't give a fuck what you thinking.
Or you could be a player.
Yeah, that's too much. Women think too much.
This is true. I'm thinking about other shit right now. You talking about? All right. Name 3 items you would purchase to make a cashier feel uncomfortable.
That I would purchase to make a cashier feel uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I would purchase a tampon.
Okay.
A tampon, a Plan B.
Okay.
And a Dr. Seuss book at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah, she might be like, "What the fuck?"
I'll put you with the Plan B and the tampon, but okay. That's right. We are moving on to GMG. That stands for what grinds your gangster. Name one of your pet peeves.
Motherfuckers who talk too much and don't listen. I would walk out of a conversation and away from a motherfucker who just does this and don't want to listen. That's one thing that's a pet peeve of mine. Also, liars. I hate a lying motherfucker. If I know you lying, just tell me to be straight up with me. I'm gonna be honest with you. You be honest with me. You ain't gotta lie. I can respect you more if you straight up honest 100%. That goes for everybody, workers, jobs, friends, relationships. Just be straight up. I don't got time for all that bullshit.
Facts. I can't stand. That's my pet peeve. With a liar showing up. I can't stand. Because at certain times, like, nigga, we grown. Like,
right.
What's the point?
What the fuck you lying about?
So we are moving on to our fan favorite, which is opera that thing out. One song, any song that you know at least one full verse to, and you got to sing it in your best opera voice. It could be rap, it could be a nurse's rhyme, it could be anything.
Well, give me you do an opera voice for me so I can imitate it. Come on, just give me a good opera voice.
I know you're trying to pull me in.
No, because I want to make sure I'm doing the right thing. I ain't never sung opera before.
That's it.
That's it. That's all you give it.
It's your time.
Operas. All right, let me see what song I could do. Okay, I'm gonna do some R. Kelly.
Okay.
All right, now let me make sure I know how to opera this shit. I'm standing here looking in the mirror, saying damn to myself. I should have known the day would come when she would find somebody else. All right, that's it. That's it.
You had to hit him with the different octaves. Okay, I got
you. Yeah. You know, I do this shit.
We'll move on to our game, Sing-a-Doo. Now, Sing-a-Doo is a family-friendly game that all can play. It's a music game. And what you're doing, you're singing the melody of the song, but you can only use the word do. So I'm gonna do a couple, and then I'm gonna let you guess, and then I'm gonna put the cards up so you can pick a song, and then I'm gonna guess, and then we're gonna be out of here.
I bet.
All right. So we got R&B, hip hop, we got country rock, we got TV themes, old school party and dances. I'm gonna do hip hop and R&B.
Okay.
All right. Do 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 do. Do. You don't know?
Hold on. Keep going. Do it again.
All right, let me do it from the beat. Do. Come on, nigga.
You fucking me up.
Big pimpin', spin.
Oh, okay. All right, we're doing Jay-Z and shit. I couldn't. All right.
Let me try. Let's see. Okay, R&B. Do 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 do.
You can sing a little bit too, gang. I hear you. Hold on, I got you. I know it. I think about you on it. I'm trying to remember. Hold on.
I give because you at least you knew the lyrics. So, baby.
Is that TLC?
No, Brandy.
Fuck is that Brandy? Okay, one of them.
Hey. All right. You better know this one. Hold on, let me see.
Do be throwing a nigga off.
that will make it hard. Let's see. No, that's coming too hard. Let me see. Okay, hip hop. Do.
Baby, I got your money. Yeah.
Why you do the nigga song? But you ain't
ODB. I'm old dirty bass. I'm an old school nigga. I know old dirty bass.
All right, I'm gonna hold the card up to the camera. Once you pick a song, let me know, and I'll put it down. I'm gonna try to guess.
All right.
Let me know if I need to move it or anything.
What does it? Hold on.
I need to move it up, down. What?
No. Move it back some. I'm kind of see who the artist is, so I make sure I know it. Pull it in. All right, pull it in. All right, bet.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
Do 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 do
What's the name
do.
of love? Supreme.
Yeah, you got that one, motherfucker.
All right, let's go. Let's go.
All right, come on, come to me a little bit. All right. Lift it up. All right. I don't know which one of them I want to do. I want to do both of them.
Okay, do the first one and then let's save the last one for the next one. And then
All right, bet. All right. Let me do that one first then. Let me remember how that shit go. All right. Dun. Hold on. Let me make sure I got the beat right. Huh? R&B. It's R&B.
Okay.
Do 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 do.
Is Just Friends?
Do 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 do. Shalimar for the lover in you. You don't know shit?
I ain't get the notes right. It's do 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 do.
That's what I said.
No, you didn't. No,
Yes, I did. That's exactly what I said.
All your notes was one note. It wasn't no.
Well, because I just kept doing that part over and over. You full of shit.
Right,
I'm telling you right now.
What's the next one?
Are you ready?
Yep.
All right. Do.
Just like me. I need a freak in them. See, I knew that shit.
You know what I should have did first, but I figured you would get that motherfucker.
Well, that is how you play Sing-a-Doo. If anybody's interested, you can get it at sing-a-doo.com because we got the holidays coming up, Labor Day.
Oh, yeah.
All that good stuff. This is plenty of fun for the family and friends.
Sing-a-Doo. I'm definitely going to fuck with that one. That shit was fun.
That has been our episode. So, first of all, let me get your tag up there. Make sure you are following D. Anthony. If you got merch, if you got shows, whatever you got going on, let the people know right now.
For sure, man. Look, first off, follow me right there on Instagram, man. Facebook, all the same thing. I got shows coming up every Tuesday. I got a show at Backstage. You can come pull up. Me and Janet Dollar, we host Tuesdays, Old National. If you don't know what Backstage is, Old National in Atlanta, Georgia. We turn up every Tuesday at 9:00. If you're a comic and you want to go up, pull the fuck up. We do like 4 guest spots before we do the headliner. Right now, I got a movie on the way out called The Spy That Killed Me. The trailer should be released in a couple months. About October, this trailer should come out. The movie should come out at the end of the year. So stay tuned for that with Darren Henson. It's going to be lit. It's an action comedy. I got a series right now on Amazon Prime called Decisions, which I'm going into writing for the second season of that. Just doing the thing right now. I got you. I'm the
right decision, goddamn. I'm just trying to
yeah, so follow me, man. If I'm doing something, I'm always gonna post it, so you can always keep up with what's going on.
All right, and that has been another episode of Kandid Kisses TV. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share with your mama and them. If you ain't ready to clown, don't come to the circus, because that's what we do over here. Okay,
right?
And we on all streaming platforms, Spotify, Google, all that shit. Get it together and go ahead and follow. I holla.
What Sing-a-Doo? Hey, what Sing-a-Doo? Hey, yo, what Sing-a-Doo? What Sing-a-Doo? Hey, cuz. What Sing-a-Doo, cuz? Sing-a-Doo is a music game that all can play. All you have to do is sing the melody of the song on the card using only the word do.
Do. Same genre. Do.
What?
Do. Do.
Kick off my shoes and relax my feet. Just kick it.
We'll make you.
You got your family and they need you there. But I tried to resist being last on your list. But no other girl's gonna do.
Order your copy today at singadude.com.